The history of World War II is marked by machines that shaped battles, defined fronts, and altered the destiny of entire nations. Among roaring engines, heavy tanks, and colossal aircraft, a modest creation emerged, small in size, gigantic in influence. A machine that crossed continents and carried the emotional, physical, and strategic weight of a generation. Willys MB Jeep. Returning to the industrial sheds where this legend was born reveals a world stifled by the heat of welding, permeated by the smell of burnt oil and freshly worked steel. An environment where the relentless rhythm of the machines seemed like the beating of a metallic heart in the midst of wartime urgency. When the United States Army submitted its request in 1940, the requirements seemed improbable. The new machine had to be lightweight, robust, capable of transporting soldiers and supplies, traversing mud, snow, sand, and rocks, towing artillery, surviving the front lines, being mass-produced rapidly, and yet so simple that it could be repaired with few tools and improvisation. To many, this sounded like military fantasy. For Willys Overland, it was an industrial challenge. A calling that demanded endless nights, daring metallurgy, and silent engineering carried out by anonymous hands. The warehouses in Toledo, Ohio, ceased to be mere factories and became bustling territories of creativity and urgency. Each spark that flew represented more than progress. It represented lives that would depend on that still non-existent machine. The Willys MB began as the Go Devil engine, a crude block of cast iron that took shape under the intense heat of the foundry and the exhausting work of the laborers. Molten metal filled molds, steam heated the air, and parts were born under the pressure of war. Sedimentation, cooling, machining, adjustment, a cycle repeated without rest. Production continued without pause, without holidays, without silence. The planet burned with conflict, and there, one of the most important responses to it was being built. The Willys MB structure was almost brutally simple, and it was precisely in that simplicity that its genius lay. The rectangular chassis moved along the industrial conveyor belts as workers repeated identical movements dozens of times a day. Riveting, welding, tightening, testing. A rhythm that seemed like mechanical choreography. The Jeep was born little by little. First the bare chassis, then the front and rear axles, the springs, the steering box. The angular and austere body gradually appeared, revealing a shape that would be recognized anywhere in the world. The front of the Willys MB, with its 7-slot grille, would become one of the most enduring symbols in automotive history. It wasn't just design. It was pure function. Openings that ensured efficient cooling, reduced weight, and simplified production. Sheets were cut, bent, and pressed under gigantic machines that shook the ground, shaping the expression of an icon. The Jeep was built by workers who would never set foot on the front lines, but who waged a silent war on the production line. Women sewing tarps, men tightening bolts, immigrants, farm workers, veterans, all united by an immense responsibility. Their hands were creating something that would save lives, bring hope, and sustain the war effort on every continent. Once complete, the Willys MB was put through rigorous testing. It faced rough terrain, deep ditches, water, logs, and steep climbs. Mud covered the wheels and fenders, while the engine was pushed to its limits. The machine held up. It revealed his resilient, stubborn, almost vibrant soul. It showed why he would become indispensable. The Jeep spread across the battlefields of the planet. It crossed North Africa raising dust. It climbed hills in Italy. It served as an improvised ambulance in Normandy. It towed artillery in the Ardennes. It transported generals, vital messages, ammunition, the wounded, radios, and hope. He didn't win battles alone. But without him, many might not have been won. When the war ended, the machine that had traversed a world in flames became a symbol of freedom. Its design inspired decades of vehicles. Its philosophy gave rise to the modern concept of the off-road vehicle. Its spirit remained alive. It all started there, at the factory where the Willys MB Jeep was born.